friends, my name is Catherine and I'm the human behind Christian Miss Couture, and today we're going to have a fun little leave no die behind because we're going to be using my empty jars, because in those empty jars there is always some kind of fine residue of dry powder, and I just want to make sure that before putting those jars into the recycle bin that there is nothing dangerous in there so that nobody would accidentally breathe in the dry powders. So basically what I do when I have a ton, because I do accumulate them specifically for the purpose of doing a leave no die. So once I have enough empty jars, I grab them, put hot water in them, and then we just have fun. And we will see the final result today. So let's get into this. Okay, so we're going to do a leave no die slightly different than usual because we're going to be using my empty jars because there is some dry powder in those. So we're going to try to use up as much as possible of that. So we have Antique Mauve, Valentine Blush, Bright Aqua, Royal Purple. You know what? I'm going to try to do this. So we're going to switch to Royal Purple and Bright Aqua. And we have Indigo, Chocolate Brown, Fawn, Duckling, and Champagne. And at the very back here, we have True Black. So I guess I'm going to attempt to do a fade with that in my pan with my sock blank. So we'll see what we're going to do. So I have my water boiling right now. I will grab my respirator and we'll see what we can do. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to start. I don't think we have that much in here. So we're starting with our antique mauve. Okay, so they are not. This is not something that is. Okay, we still have quite a bit of color in here. Wow, that's interesting. Oh, okay. So that way I'll be able to just put my empty jars with my recycle. So that way I don't poison anyone, you know? So we're going to add our Valentine blush. We don't see a whole difference with the Valentine blush. There was really nothing here. Okay, let's carry on. We are going to be adding, so this is Royal Purple. This one I can see a lot more color. Is it going to be significant? I do not know. Oops, oops. Oh well, it's going to be quite. Oh, there's quite a bit of color in here. Surprising. Well, not really surprising, but. Okay, so we are good with this one. The one thing I really dislike with the sock blank like this is that they do roll up a lot, and I don't like that. But it is what it is. There's not much I can do with this. Ooh, there. Okay, so there's a lot of bright aqua in here. Ah, okay. So I had a lot of it. A lot. Okay, so. Ah, sorry. I had a little mishap happening here. Okay. So I have still quite a bit at the bottom here, so I'm going to work it. Okay. Okay, we're good. We've got it all. Now we are going to go into the indigo, which I can't really see a whole lot, but okay, maybe there's more than I think. Okay, that's fun. There was not that much, but there was some. Okay, so we are good with this one. Now we are into our chocolate brown. And I think the chocolate brown, I will add it here. So I know I had this idea of going up like this, but we could use a little bit more color at the bottom here. And it's gonna go well because the chocolate brown has a tendency to lean a little pinker than the other browns. So it's going to work. Okay, and now we're going to fawn. Oh yeah, I think fawn. I'll do the same, and I will be adding fawn at this section here. And since we have a little bit more color, I'm going to turn on the heat now. There we go. Okay. It's going to be pretty. I like that. Perfect. Okay. So we've added our phone here. Now we're going to into duckling, and I will be adding it at the top portion there because we're going to end up with a green. So we're going to be able to like create this greenish color over here, which is going to be pretty with hints of yellow. And like I said, I really dislike how it's rolling up like this. There's not much I can do for that, but that's life. And we're going to be adding our champagne at the top portion there. We don't have a whole lot of pigment in here. I know I said that for a few of them, but I really don't think we have that much. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought. So now we're gonna go here, and as you can see, the top of here is orange because it was originally not for my true black. It was for my saffron spice, but the saffron spice jar fell off the shelf and it broke. So I swapped the jar container's cover. Okay, so this is good. Now that everything is wet, and I will not fear to be breathing in any fine particle, I can remove my respirator. So the fun thing with Sock Blank is that 30 minutes for this guy is that this is knitted on a sock machine. Well, not necessarily a sock machine, a knitting machine, and it's knitted double. So you will have twice 50 grams of skeins once you've separated your blank. So this is knitted, so it's technically a DK weight right now as is. However, it is fingering weight, suck weight. So it's 75-25 superwash merino nylon. And once you've unraveled both strands, you will be left with two hopefully identical skeins of yarn to make socks. So we're going to let this for 30 minutes. When it has pre-soaked with citric acid in it, so that way we already have our citric acid. I don't have to worry about that. And then we just need to let it cook for 30 minutes, and then we're going to come back to see what we have here. So we'll see you in 30 minutes. Okay, so we are all good. So we're going to turn off the heat and let it all cool off completely before we're going to be washing off any excess dye, and I will see you when it's time to do that. So we're going to wash off any excess dye. We should not have too much of that though. Okay. So I'm going to let this soak a little bit and we're going to come back. And we are good. So it's going to go in the spin dryer. We're going to let it dry overnight, and I will see you tomorrow for the final result. And here's the final result of using my leftover canister jars of dry powder to create a sort of a fade. So basically this is a sock blank, like I've mentioned. It is double knitted, which means that it was knitted with 2 strands of fingering weight. So technically, once we unravel these, you should end up with a pair of socks that is technically identical. However, with this technique, we would most likely end up with something that is not exactly identical, which is fine. Hello, Zoe. How are you today? I love this cat so much. You're the prettiest. Yes, you are. Okay. Yes. So I think it's a very fun, and as you can see, it almost creates this tie-dye effect with those harsh lines that we have here, and that is because it is very difficult in the pan to have this fully opened, because this side and the other side is rolling up a lot. So that creates resistance on the sides where you can see another harsh line here, and like it kind of have a tendency also to crumple on the extremities right here, just to the fact that you have like I don't know why they do this here. Maybe it's to make it easier to unravel later, but here you have a ribbing, and you have like it's not even a ribbing here. It seems to be folded. I don't know how they do it in, like, at the mill. I really don't know. I just think it's funny. And it helps to pass those little empty jars at the end of the day. But anyways, it's super fun. I don't think I would be 100% able to recreate it, just due to the fact that I do not know the concentration of yarn, well, not yarn, of the pigment we had in those jars. But it's very interesting how the colors melt into each other, or fade into each other would be a better word, I think. But it's just fun experimenting, and like I like to do those also to see how the colors react into each other, because as much as we know about color theory, theory and practice sometimes clash a little bit, and you just, especially when it comes to organic matters and things like that, because we have the sock blank that is not fully white, where a canvas usually can be pure white. There will be a texture on your canvas as well, and there will be textures on the yarn. However, since it's not pure white, you cannot go off 100% of the color theory wheel and the color theory in general, because it's more like a yellow cream. So you have to take that into consideration, and sometimes I really struggle as a visual learner to understand how it will be applicable in through life. Now I'm much better about it, because I have been working with the same dyes for the past 4 years almost. So I understand a little bit better everything that's happening, so that's good. Yeah, so I hope you've liked the video, and if you did, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye!